What is going on, everybody? I am back. I'm not in my usual spot that is being taken up at the moment, but I am here joining you again. I just got back from Medellin. Medellin's the second largest city in Colombia. And to be fair, in America, you probably know it as the city where Pablo Escobar is from and about drugs. But it is so much more than that. It's kind of in the center tour between Cali and Cartagena. It's in between the two. It's on the way towards Panama or Central America. Is Panama Central America? I think so. And that might be where it starts. Not positive. It is a really beautiful city. And I was there over the weekend. So I am exhausted. I left Friday after work and I came back Monday morning before work. And it was kind of insane. I mean, I was going to a salt mine and I was trying to go to a salt mine rave and there weren't any more tickets. So I thought of it as a sign to say I'm not haven't been to many of the places in Colombia. You know, living in Colombia has been different than being a tourist. People come to Colombia, they go to Bogota, Medellin, Cartagena, Santa Marta, Barranquilla, Quilla. Yeah, Minca. They might go to the coffee region, Armenia, but I haven't been able to do much of that because I've been working and I don't really have time when I go. So this weekend I was like, fuck it. I am gonna go. I have nothing else going on. I didn't want to stay. And all my friends are going to that thing. So I booked tickets the week before and started planning. And I ended up going by myself. And it is difficult to travel by yourself sometimes, you know. It's you don't know. I mean, it depends on who you are as a person if you're able to do that, how motivated you are yourself. Depends if you feel safe doing that or feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable or safe, it's not gonna do you any good. I mean, you're just gonna end up being scared of doing things. And to me, everybody asked me, at least back home, I was coming to Colombia. A lot of people said it's dangerous. How are you? And I feel a lot of people coming to Colombia get the same questions. And the answer is it's not really dangerous. I feel comfortable. Yeah. There are people who get pickpocketed. There are people who, I mean, it's the main thing that happens, or their phone gets stolen. And yeah, that sucks. But that has happened in a lot of countries. And people in New York are worrying about their fear right now. In the United States overall, crime is up, and I'd rather be here currently. So, yeah, it's dangerous, but I think it can be dangerous anywhere. And I also am a big proponent, or I really think that if you act like you fit in, you will. Now, I'm not saying that I look Colombian. I don't. It's pretty obvious that I'd be a tourist. But if I walk like I know where I'm going, or if I'm not just pulling out my phone for directions every 5 seconds, or I have my money and stuff in a safe spot and don't really take it out, people aren't really going to trouble me. And yeah, there are areas you could go to that definitely aren't as safe. I mean, every city has those parts. You can stay clear of those areas. I mean, every once in a while, you might find yourself in a little bit of a dicey area, but Ubers are really cheap. Cabs are a little bit suspicious here. I wonder if people think the cabs are suspicious in New York too. Yeah, but I've had no problem. And Medellin has moved really, really far from getting past the days when it was really dangerous and when there was a lot of cartel presence. And I think there still is a little bit, but there isn't quite as much. And people there don't like to talk about it. I mean, you wouldn't want to talk about it if that's what your city's known for. Let's see, what is New York known for? New York, I think, is known probably for Times Square and buildings. That's not as bad. But in the 70s and 80s, I've heard really bad or dangerous things about New York. And I've heard people say that it seems like an unsafe place. And right now, there are a lot of people who do seem unsafe, who do feel unsafe taking the subway or public transportation. And Medellin has a beautiful subway. Oh my God. I mean, that might not be the biggest takeaway I have from my trip, but man, it is gorgeous and pretty and very, very useful. I mean, the guide, I took a walking tour. He was saying, started the tour by saying, it is dangerous. You got to be careful. It is smelly. There is a lot of people. I'm like, I live in New York. This is kind of nicer. I mean, the metro didn't have homeless people, didn't have trash all over the floor. It was above ground, so it was pretty open air. It didn't look like it's been there for 100 years. I mean, it is a lot newer, but it's still think it's been around since the 70s. There's no graffiti, nothing. How about homeless people? Homeless people need a place to sleep. So I feel like if they don't have a place to sleep out, if they were going to sleep outside in the elements, probably better in the subway, 'cause even if it isn't great to see, but I think it is. So yeah, Medellin was absolutely lovely. It's beautiful. There's a lot of greenery. And so since I don't have much time, and that was one of the places I wanted to go to, I spent 2 days there. And even if I would have been tired leaving Friday after school and coming back Monday before school very early, it was compounded by the fact that I needed to get up and do everything that I wanted to do. I had one chance to go to Medellin, at least on this trip. Who knows? Maybe I'll be back at some point going to Medellin. I think it would be really nice too. But I had to cram everything in. So this is the most prepared I've ever been for a tour. And this goes back to traveling with people. My previous trip I was talking about, this is why I find it easier to travel by myself at times because I knew what I wanted to do and I made a plan. And this is one of the few times I do that. Usually I get to a city. See, when I traveled by myself in Europe last time, I got to a city and was like, okay, these are things I want to do. So in the morning, I'd put on Google Maps and I'd walk through the city to, let's say I was in Paris to the Eiffel Tower. I'm like, today I'm going to the Eiffel Tower, and I walk to the Eiffel Tower, take my time, relax, go to restaurants, shop. I don't really have a plan. And then the next day I'd be like, what else is there to see? And I'd go to the Arc de Triomphe. And here I had 2 days. So I made a plan with some of my friends at school beforehand who have been to Medellin or lived there before, and I couldn't miss any of it because then I'd never see it. So I had a walking tour, I had a Comuna Threse tour, and I went to Guatape. And Guatape is a town outside of uh, Medellin, about 3 hours away. It's a colonial town. It's really pretty, and there's a rock there that you can climb to the top of and see a view. There's lakes surrounding the area. It's man-made lakes. I'm not sure how they built it. You'd have to look that up, but it really is gorgeous. I should post some pictures on my Instagram. And so that was my plan. So I was fully booked for 2 days. And I also wanted to party because I heard the Medellin nightlife is pretty insane. So that meant I had to party every night. I didn't have to party, but party every night, wake up around 7, 7:30, go on a walking tour, get lunch, go on another walking tour, come back, shower, party again, wake up the next day at 7, go take the bus to Guatape, and then I maybe can get a little rest at a hotel near the airport. And that was my itinerary. And I've never planned like this before. Usually I'm very go with the flow, figure things out, but I was able to do that. There are a lot of people at hostels going to a soccer game. And that would have been a lot of fun, of course, but I'm going to see the city. My plans could not change. I mean, they always can change. Like, it's not the end of the world, but I was stuck to it. And it was a lot of fun. It was just yesterday I was sleepwalking. Yesterday I came back. I went to go grocery shopping. I was out of groceries. And for some reason I thought it would be a good idea since I didn't have bags. They had boxes like at Costco. I went to De Uno. If you don't know what Costco is, it's a big grocery store, but you can pack it away in like cardboard boxes, which you can then recycle. And I like it a lot. And I was like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm gonna do that. And I decided to carry it in a cardboard box. And then we went to another place to get fruits and vegetables. And I got stuff there. And then I went to the bus back. And as I was getting off the bus back, my cardboard box fell and everything flew everywhere. And it was probably only like a minute, but when everybody's looking at you ready to go to the next spot on the bus, it feels like a long time. Definitely does. And yeah, and I forgot like my wallet and everything. And it was rough. And I went to bed at 5, and going to bed at 5 is a problem because I took a nap from 5 to 10 and woke up at 10 and I couldn't go back to sleep for another 4 hours. And then I ended up getting some more sleep. Taking a nap for a long time, not a good decision. Not a good decision. Got to plan that out better. But yeah, that was my weekend. And I guess it comes towards planning things. How can I plan the things that make the most sense for me? And how can I go through it? Was there a way that I would have changed? I don't think there was a way I would have changed my travels. I think that the only way I would have changed something, I guess, is if I physically couldn't move. And I didn't get to that point, which is good. Thank God. But I went to the airport on Monday morning at 3 a.m. And that was one of the worst experiences. Not okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it was not fun. I sat there exhausted, not feeling good. The airport was freezing. Just it wasn't the best experience, but I was able to do what I really wanted to do, which was see Medellin. And was it? Do I think it's worth it? Definitely. So I guess I think that's the thing. What's stopping you from doing something or going something? Is it the feeling of being tired? What would stop me from doing that previously? I think it's the idea that I don't have much time, that it's not possible to do. I think there's some way where I think there's an impossibility out there. And the answer is anything is possible, pretty much. I think anything that I set my mind to, I will be able to accomplish within reason. I don't think I'm ever going to go to the moon unless I make a lot of money and take SpaceX. I could do that. Maybe it's possible, but I wouldn't be a NASA astronaut. That is pretty much certain. Or I'm not going to be able to make the MLB right now, which is unfortunate. But I think that ship, well, can it sail if it never really happened? I think it's very difficult to be a professional. But realistically, anything that I can personally do, I'll be able to. And I guess that goes into my next topic, which is planning for the future. And I'm coming to the end of my stay in Colombia. I've said this before, and I don't know what I'm doing next. I mean, I have plans for the summer, but I don't know what's coming after that. How can I plan for the future myself and think about what do I truly want to do? Because to be honest, I don't really want to be in New York City right now. So I start with that. I start with where do I want to be? And if the answer is New York City for a little bit, see friends, make money, then maybe that is. But what am I getting done? Or how am I moving myself forward? And do I need to move myself forward? And and do you think of these questions when you're thinking about what you're doing now or what's going to happen? Like, let's say you have a job that you don't really like. You're not moving forward. What is that next step? Is it stay there and make some money, or hopefully it goes better? I don't want that to happen to me. That's the thing that I'm not most scared of, but I don't want to get content because I feel like I can get content almost anywhere, where I'll feel like I'm obligated somehow to stay somewhere. And the answer is I'm not. I don't have to. I don't have to do anything. I mean, you want to leave on good terms with everybody, but that's not always going to be the case. I mean, your expectations or your needs aren't going to line up with the people you work for sometimes or the people you're with in general. So, how can I plan for the future for me? And what do I see? I mean, maybe I start with long term goals. That's a possibility. See, what's my long term goal? I mean, I've always had a dream of trying to have like some sort of after school program type thing where I sit and basically help people think for themselves or think of what do they want to do and how they're going to get there, or how is it going to go, how is your life going to move forward. And the answer is does life, and the question is does life always have to move forward? you know I don't think you do necessarily, but if you become stagnant, it's or if I become stagnant, it's very difficult for me to feel as good. I mean, last year I don't think I was depressed, but I wasn't doing well when I was just going to work 9 to 5 for something that I didn't really want to do, and then coming home and not really do anything. And it was very difficult. Maybe that's existence for most people. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be an actual adult. Well, I am an actual adult, but I don't know what it is going to be like working that 9 to 5 job or doing things that I don't necessarily want to do, because not every job is going to be what I want. Like if I want to travel again, I'm probably going to need some more money. So if that's the case, then what am I supposed to do? Go back and work for a while? So I need to find a way to balance getting money, probably, and doing something that I can at least show up every day for and be happy about. I mean, here I'm working and I work from about 8:45 to 3, but I'm happy to be here every day. And yeah, that's less hours than a typical 9 to 5, but it's definitely what I want to be doing. And I have a lot of fun doing that. And so I guess the answer is sit down and see what is somewhere that I want to go to, maybe. What is something I would want to do? I mean, I come back always to helping people. Or let's think about this. What do you want to do? What is something that you desire to get from life. Something I desire is to help people. So, in what facet can I help people? Or is where I'm going to go next. And how can I help people? And I think what I do is I'm able to get along with people fairly well. I've gotten to that point. I also am able to do a lot of things when I put my mind to it. I feel like I'm not great at any one thing, but I'm good at lots of things. Like I'm pretty good at cooking. Am I a chef? No. Am I fantastic? I don't think so. Maybe that mentality isn't great, because thinking that you're not good at things, I mean, it's a short step, but I am thinking I'm good at things. I kind of want to help people be well-faceted, well-rounded, well-faceted, I think. I don't know. Definitely where I struggle is English, but that was always my worst subject in school. I think I'm able to see things in a different perspective than most people. I think I'm very creative. I think, honestly, what I'm great at is trying to have fun, at least since I've been here or at camp or stuff. I mean, even not, I just try to have fun. And I feel like that's what I do well is I find creative outlets. I find just running with kids. I just do lots of things. I act like a kid. I think I'm great at acting like a kid. I do think that's a talent. Still acting like a kid. I mean, it's acting like a kid, but still things have to be done and I have to do things and be mature about that. Like I have to go grocery shopping, clean my clothes. Like things need to be done. Yet I'm still able to do it with a smile, still able to do it, still run on playground, still go on a swing. I think that's important. And maybe that's what I want to teach people. You can be a kid, but there are also things you need to do. So how can you teach it? Because I feel like a lot of times people get told no. I mean, people told me don't play on the playground. People told me, what have people not told me to do about being a kid? That I need to be focused or like just give me looks. I don't care. That's the thing. It's the not caring part. I will get done what I need to get done. And I feel like showing that's who I am is important. So I want to help people still be kids as they get older, still be goofy while being mature. So how can I get to that step? How can I influence people? How can I get people to come out of their comfort zone? And that's the part I need to work on. And I think finding programs or things to help with that align with what I want to do or finding jobs to do that definitely would be beneficial for me. So I think that could possibly be the intermediate step between me going and leaving to another country. But there's a lot that goes into that. So I still need to get it done. I still need to make a list of what countries. I'm probably going to try to learn Spanish. And yeah, so I guess it is take time, reflect upon yourself like I'm doing now. And you can take some time, take 5 minutes. Let's take 5 minutes, 5 minutes a day. Write down your plan for the future, what you want to do, how it's getting there, how you're improving, what you're learning. Oh, maybe that's a good one. I think I want to write down one thing I learn every day. I'm going to write down a new thing I learned every day. And I'll share that. And I want you guys to join me on that. And that's how I plan to move forward and make the next plans in my life. And I hope you join me in making some great plans. So thanks for listening. I'm Adam with DMDY. And you should follow me on Instagram at DMDYpod. You should follow me on TikTok at DMDYDU. And you should subscribe and like the podcast. Thank you so much for listening and have a fantastic week. And share with me what you're learning every day.